Today, I'm going to teach a second grade math lesson. It is one of the first standards of the Ohio second grade math that has everything to do with place value and base 10. Students will learn the ones, tens, and hundreds places, but usually math can be kind of stressful, and so I wanted to make it fun, a creative time for them. So we're calling this the place value party. And we have a lot of things that have party elements to them. For example, I have balloons here, and students are going to learn about the ones, tens, and hundreds based with their balloons. They're also going to get Oreos. These are probably going to be a distraction at some point because kids are going to want to eat them, but it's actually kind of cool how we can use Oreos to use ones, tens, and hundreds. So that'll be fun for them. And then I also have here these base 10 block things. I'm going to need a whiteboard or chalkboard or a smartboard. I don't have those things. I have a binder with a Sharpie, white dry erase marker. That's not a Sharpie. And we're just going to work with what we have. Usually students are going to need a bigger space to play. Usually a carpet space would be great for this activity, floor space so that they could spread out and use the manipulatives and also see the board. For the summative assessment, they'll have a worksheet. The digits are here, and we'll walk through that and how to represent those numbers. And then formative and pre-assessment are throughout the lesson using the manipulatives as you see here. I believe that's everything. We're going to get started. So good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to the place value party. Does anyone know what place value is? Okay, so we have a couple of ideas. Kids might say it has something to do with space on a line or a number, or they have no idea, or they just hate math and they don't want to do it at all. And that's totally fine. Well, today we're going to figure out what place value actually means in the world of numbers and math, and we're going to make it fun. So, I'm going to show you something that we call place value in the ones, tens, and hundreds. So can someone name a number that they love, they absolutely adore? It's their favorite number. Johnny, what's your favorite number? And then Johnny will tell me that his favorite number is 37. Maybe, if we're lucky. He might say 8. So we're going to show Johnny that every number has a place. And a number like 37, which is Johnny's favorite number, can be divided up into different places. To write Johnny's favorite number, we have 3 tens, which is 30, and 7 ones. So that might not make too much sense now, but that's a little glimpse of what place value is going to look like for us today. Now, what I'm going to do, boys and girls, is what your favorite numbers are, and I'm just going to have you list them out. And so we've got 22, we've got 107, good. Who can give me a number that's greater than 100? Okay, 203, all right. So we've got a couple of numbers here up on our board that everyone can see. And we're going to have some fun with these numbers because it's a place value party, and I'm not going to let you go without partying today. So, let's take the number 203, 203. How many, let's hold this up, continue to hold it up. How many individual numbers do you see in 203? That's right, you see 3. So there's 1, that's the 2. There's 1 there, that's 0. And there's 1 there, that is 3. Now, This one is the ones place. There's just 1 3. The middle is the tens place. And the third place is the hundreds. Let's make it fun and easy for you to visualize. I have balloons here, and we're just going to write on the balloons 203, just like this. Now you see each number has its own balloon. Do you see that? Are you able to see it? And so you have 2 over here on the green balloon, 0 on the middle one in the red, and 3 on the pink balloon. And all together you have 203. Now the green balloon is in the hundreds place because we say 200, just like that. In the middle, we have 0 because there's nothing to work with there. And it's just 0 tens. We have nothing in the middle except 200. And then, on the third end, we have 3. Just 1, 2, 3 of those ones, making 203. Okay. So again, if we were to take 435, it would be 4 here, then 3 tens here, and then 5 ones. And I want to show you an easier way to classify those numbers by having some fun. So I want you to pick up your Oreos, because this is when the fun comes in. You eat your Oreos, that you could use these to classify your digits. Well, if you take one Oreo like your Oreos, now a whole Oreo like this counts as the hundreds place. A half Oreo with frosting is the tens place. And a single cookie, or in my case a broken one, counts as the ones place. So you have a whole cookie, a single cookie, and then a cookie with frosting. Okay? Where does that 2 in Oreos belong? Does it belong with the whole Oreo, which is the hundreds? Does it belong to the half Oreo with frosting, which is the tens place? Or does it belong with the single cookie, which is the ones place? Come up with this, the hundreds place. And they will represent it as the whole Oreo. Now what about 7? What comes next? 7 would be in the tens place. Very good. So what Oreo do we use for that one? Half frosting. Very good. And so we've got a whole Oreo with half frosting. And then what Oreo do we have left, boys and girls? We have the single Oreo for the ones place. Perfect. So we've got 2 of the hundreds, 7 of the tens, and 8 of the ones. And that is representing place value. Oreos, so you can eat them, because we don't need Oreos anymore. We're going to a different party. We are going to the base 10 party. Everybody say base 10 party. Yes, the base 10 party. Base 10, boys and girls, is a big deal. We have things that look like this. They are bricks. They are beautiful bricks. And they, believe it or not, represent ones, tens, and hundreds. And they all sort of look a little bit different. And here are what we're going to use. So, boys and girls, I want you to take this block that is right in front of you. We're going to call it the 10 stick. Is everyone have a 10 stick in front of them? Okay, good. I see. Does someone want to guess why it's a 10 stick? Very good. Because you see 10. Okay, let's count it together. How many individual blocks are on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perfect. It is a 10 block stick. So, what place do you think this one would belong in our hundreds, tens, and ones? Tens, you're right. Absolutely, that is where it would belong. Now, let's take a bigger block. We've got this little stick, and we've got this giant block. Now, can someone count for me just this top row? Okay, like that. Now let's count from top to bottom. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 10 of these little 10 sticks inside of this block, which means there are 100 little tiny blocks in this giant one. And so where do you think this hundreds block belongs? If we have this tens block in here, where do you think the hundreds belong? Here, that's right. Okay, so there's one more little tiny person missing, and what is that? The ones place. And so we need something for that. Now, take your 10 stick and say, poof, 10 stick. Okay? And we're left with little tiny bricks that are a part of the 10 stick. And these are our ones. And so, when you have your hundreds and your tens, the littlest unit of these is your ones. This gets even more crazy at our party. We're going to use these blocks to show different types of numbers in their places. I'm going to give you this worksheet. It looks a little scary, but it's nothing different than what we already did today. So, if you'll notice that on this sheet are the exact blocks that you have in front of you. And they are representing big numbers. Just like the ones we worked with today, you can see that they have 141, 306, 224. So, we're going to use these blocks, just like you've been doing today, to match these numbers to their representations. So, this one has been done for us. Let's take a look at that one. So they say that this block here is 141. And how do you think we know that? Well, the first brick that they have is one of those big ones that equals 100. Now they know that it's just one of those bricks, and so they think 100. Then they move on to the tens blocks. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those tens. So that must mean that they have 140. Cool. How cool is that? Well, then they have one little baby unit at the very end, just one. And so they can say 141. Some of the research I did was about this social cognitive theory where students need models to represent what they're learning about. They can have an image in their head when they're doing something like a summative assessment. They can recall what they've seen, like a balloon or an Oreo or something like this, to help them figure out what they are being asked to do. And I think I will leave you with that.